my good man. We'll give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh by way of Yahushua HaMashiach, our Master and King, 5th chapter of John, and the 39th verse. And we will continue on from what we looked at last night, and we will start, get you Ruth, chapter 1, about verse 12. Because, you know, I told you, I talked to some of them about this Wednesday. Who was in there? Mouse and T, Brittany, Corey, and Troy, and Lil Stanley. And we touched some of that stuff that we talked about on that Wednesday. I told you we went for about 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna touch on some of that stuff in a different little fashion than what we did. But the 5th chapter of John says this at the 39th verse: "Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you." Before we actually begin in Ruth chapter 1, I need to go to James chapter 4 about something that I mentioned to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm mentioning to y'all is, and you could get 1 Samuel 15:23 go along with this. James 4 and about verse 5, I surmise. That's exactly what I want, 4 and 5. And it says, "Do you think that the scripture saith in vain that the Ruach that dwell in us lust to envy?" What do y'all think that mean, that the spirit in you lust to envy? What y'all think that could mean? Well, you know, in the 26th chapter and about the 41st verse in the book of Matthew, Mashiach told you that the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know what I'm saying? You know in Romans chapter 7 how, go over here to Romans chapter 7 about verse 18 real fast. They hold this thing real fast. Make it 14 though. Romans 7 and 14. It says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold unto sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that do I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now then it is no more I that do it, but the sin that dwell in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwell no good thing, for to will is present with me. But how to perform that which is good, I find not." You know, that's kind of like what we talked about a couple weeks ago in that Jeremiah 4 and 22. This is Sodom's children. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. The reason why we don't have no knowledge to do good is because we reject knowledge. Remember how we looked at last night? He said, "Let us choose us judgment and let us know amongst ourselves what is good." See, when you turn around and look at it, your flesh envies against the word. It doesn't want to submit to it. It doesn't want to do it. That's why some of y'all sitting in their room go do some of the most retarded, idiotic stuff you can think of. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't listen. That's why you do what you want to do. And then you sit around hating yourself because you stupid. You know what I'm saying? And then you steady doing this here, running your head up against this wall. And for what? What's the point of that? Well, you remember what I told y'all last night? If what you've been doing all these years ain't been working, ain't it time to try to do something else? You know what I'm saying? If you have been trying to climb the tree by I forget what you call it.
Stay upside down.
No, what's the bottom part of the tree called?
The trunk.
The trunk of the tree. Instead of the branch, it skipped my mind, man. That happens. You know what I'm saying? Or instead of trying to climb up to the branch, you're going to keep trying to go up the trunk, but you can't get up the trunk, but you watching everybody else climb up the branches and then it hit your brain, let me try something different. You know what I'm saying? I remember I told a young lady, I say, how this been working out for you, what you been doing? She said, it hasn't. I say, you don't think it's about time to do something different? She was like, yeah. I say, well, why you ain't doing nothing different? I don't know. I may ascertain, then obviously you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all be playing with y'all life, man. Some of y'all be playing with y'all life. I told y'all, man, stuff y'all be doing is like playing Russian roulette with an AK-47. You know what I'm saying? Well, you playing with your life. Well, you talking about leaning to your flesh, playing with sin, that's what you doing. You got a big old AK-47 right in your face. I wonder if a bullet gonna come out. You know it's gonna come out. This is a fully automatic weapon. Ain't no one bullet in here and you spin it. Maybe you skip it. You know what I'm talking about? We don't want no banana. We want extended. We want the thing. We want the whole thing where you just got the bullets like Rambo around you, baby. They just come feed into it. You good and dead. You playing with yourself. Come on back to James. That's what you got to sit back and look at, man. The spirit that's in you lust to envy. Envy and being jealous. You know, envy and jealousy is probably one of the most disgusting traits a human being can possess. Why would you want to envy and be jealous of somebody else when you can just be you? Whatever they got, you can get too. You know what I'm saying? And if they got something that you can't have, that you never considered, maybe that's just not for you. You know what I'm saying? You know that covenant, boy, that's what made Ahab go along with what Jezebel did. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, that covenant, boy, get you out of here, because when you look at covenant ain't nothing but lusting. It's a desire for something. Y'all got to look at that lust does not always entail sex. You know what I'm saying? It's a desire for something. You can desire the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? I done sat back and seen that. I done seen people have destruction for desiring a wife, and they desire for a wife did not cause them to think properly and picking one. You done seen people desire to open a business, and then they desire to do it. They started the wrong business because they desire blinded them in what they were doing, or went in business with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I done seen greed, that desire for money, period, blind men costing their life. If you don't know how to keep your desire in check, you can't keep yourself in check. If you can't keep yourself in check, you liable to do anything at any given time. Y'all realize that? Every last one of us know we done got caught up in desire in one form or another in your lifetime. You know how it ended up for you. Bad. How many of y'all got caught up in desire and it ended up well for you?
A couple times.
What were you doing?
Got an Xbox. It worked out pretty well for me. I'm pretty pleased with that purchase.
That's not strong desire. You just wanted to play video games.
No, it's actually a total entertainment system. I watch Netflix a lot and Hulu a lot, sir. And it's a Blu-ray player as well.
Where we find this guy at?
Where you find him, man?
I ain't find him nowhere. I don't know where Lil Muffin found him.
Y'all say where your sister found him.
Drop him back off somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Well, desire gets you in trouble every time, though. It gets you in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Some of y'all sitting in the room gonna find yourself in hell behind that. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all in there, you're gonna find yourself in hell behind that. Because you want what you want when you want it. And guess what? Y'all say, I know you want it. I'm gonna let you get it too. I be trying to warn y'all about stuff y'all don't listen though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't listen though. 4 and 6 though. He say, but he give more grace. Wherefore he saith, Alahym resist the proud, but give grace unto the humble. Now what y'all think that mean when he telling you this? What y'all think he mean? What you think he mean, Cole?
As far as
he say he resists the proud and give grace unto the humble. We know grace is undeserved gift or favor. Go, you gonna have to understand. Just give him a second. You got something?
I say, as far as he'll acknowledge the humble, he's not going to acknowledge somebody. And of course, he's going to acknowledge someone that's going to, being humble, is going to submit to his will and be obedient.
Come on, Tim.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the story of Saul and David, how Saul was proud and David, he was humble, and he got grace when he disobeyed.
He did. I mean, that's the same instance. And we could go look at Hezekiah, you know what I'm saying, and many other people. We're going to look at somebody who were proud. 2 Chronicles chapter 20. Go look at somebody who were proud first. You got to look at that. Remember when Hezekiah was sick and went to doing all that weeping and all that, what he did? He said, I'm going to give you 15 more years. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at Ahab, when he got caught out there, he went to weeping and whining and mourning and praying and fasting and all this here. He said, you know what? You see how he humbled himself before me? He said, I ain't going to kill him right now. He said, I ain't going to do it in his time. I'm going to do it in his son's time. I'm still going to kill everybody in his household. But he ain't going to have to see it. I'm sorry, it's 25 I wanted. My apologies. 2 Chronicles 25 and 14. Now it came to pass, after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir, and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them, and burned incense unto them. Wherefore the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet, which said unto him, why hast thou sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thy hand? So guess what he is? He's trying to correct them right here, isn't he? Let's see what this silly nigga do. And it came to pass as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, Art thou made of the king counsel? Forbear. Why should thou be smitten? Then the prophet forbade and said, I know that Alahym have determined to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and now hearken unto my counsel. So Alahym resisted him because he was proud, because this silly nigga say, who you is to give me advice? Better get out of here before I slap you. And you see what he told him? I'ma stop. I see he gonna kill you. And he went about his business. Boy, you just sit back and look at that. He gave him a space to correct. If he would have humbled himself, he could have caught grace right there. But you know what he did? He was proud. So guess what y'all said? I'm going to resist him. I ain't going to fool with you. Just that fast. Just that fast. That's how some of y'all live when somebody try to tell y'all something. Y'all sit back like, who you is to tell me something? I'll slap you. Just know you going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Just know you going to hell. Don't you know he say pride come before destruction? You know that, right? That's the book. Just know you going to hell. If you ain't got a mind for a human being to tell you something, I know you can't be able for him to tell you nothing. Because you already know he said, what our law say? They say, don't talk to us no more. Let Moses talk to her. He said, I speak a word which you shall in no wise believe, even though a man told it to you. You know what I'm saying? So another person is going to tell you this stuff. Y'all ain't supposed to look at, if you sit back and look at everybody in this room and you say that's your family, that's your people, we a family, this, that, there, and the third. That means if they pull your coattail and tell you something, you ought to consider it versus you can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you already sitting back looking at somebody, you say your people can't tell you nothing, you in a bad place. You in a bad place. Y'all got to sit back and look at that. I'm telling y'all this here because in order for you to get the Ruach HaKodesh, you're going to have to humble yourself. That means you can't be proud. Pride must be eliminated from your vocabulary, out your mind, out your heart. That has to go. See, come over here to Isaiah chapter 40. Yeah, we good. And we good in James too. Isaiah 40 and 3. It's something we done looked at in the past, but I'm going to bring it back to your remembrance. You sit back, we done talked about this before, man. You got to sit back and look at it, man. It's a lot of people in this book, when somebody came and straightened them, boy, them people wept. You know what I'm saying? They ain't sit back and argue with them. Them people wept. Say, oh, boy. Just like what he mentioned with David. David came and told him, he said, yeah, man, that man took somebody, you lamb. David said, that man must be killed. He said, that man is you. That man said, oh, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, that man said, boy, when he heard, he said, that man is you. He like, oh, boy. He's like, they said, boy, I done messed up. He ain't sit back and be like, nigga, I don't care about what you talking about. He sat back and considered, boy, y'all have mercy on me. I done messed up. I done messed up. See, he was able to give grace to him because he was humble. You know what I'm saying? He sat back and looked at, I'm dead wrong. That's why you read a lot of them songs David wrote, and he talk about, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. I'm shaping in iniquity, born in transgression. He said, I have sinned against thee and I alone, and you are right when you judge. Whatever you do to me, you right to do it. Because I'm the one wrong. That's why he say a humble and contrite heart he will not despise. You know what I'm talking about? You sit back and look at that. Some of y'all do stuff, y'all don't be contrite with it. You just mad because you got caught. You know what I'm saying? You just mad because somebody found out. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all can't even sit back and just admit what you did wrong. You got to try to spin the story and clean it up. Don't try to clean it up. Just say I'm wrong. Shouldn't have did that. That was dumb of me. That's humility right there. When you try to do all that there, try to like this here, that's still pride. You going to hell. Well, I'm talking about the things you think are like this here, make you lose your soul. You know what I'm saying? You know, what's the purpose of it? Didn't we just read the other day? You know what I'm saying? This man say, I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, but turn yourselves and live. I have no joy in the death of the wicked. The man ain't got no joy, nothing in his heart. They say, yeah, I'm going to kill that wicked. Well, I'm happy about this. That man ain't got, he has no part, he don't want no parts of that. But if you force his hand, he go ahead and get you out of here. Why would you force somebody's hand that you know is not a liar? You know what I'm saying? That's just like being in the street forcing the hand of somebody who you know is a killer. You know this man got a reputation for killing people. He will kill people. He has no problem killing people. He will kill you and go to the drive-thru, get a meal, and smoke a blunt like ain't nothing happened. And you gonna try him. And you gonna try him and then get shot when you around here running through the neighborhood ducking bullets. So why would you play with y'all like that when this man literally got your life right here in his hand? That man can literally take your life and do it like this here at his leisure. That man say your life is but a vapor. He said, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with the man. It's too many times I tell y'all that. Boy, don't play with the man. It ain't worth it. Whatever you got in your mind to go do, whatever idiotic concoction that can enter into your mind that's contrary to this man's will, don't do it. Don't do it. It'll feel good for a little bit. It's going to feel good in hell for a long time, though. I hope you like it hot, and I hope you like worms. You know what I'm saying? I don't like worms. I don't like the heat. On my flesh, I should say. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with summertime heat. I don't know about that. Ain't none of y'all finna sit here with no lighter, just put it on your forearm and just let it burn. Ain't none of y'all gonna stick your arm or your chest or your back or your leg over no open flame and just let it sit there. Shoot, nigga, this don't hurt. Ain't none of y'all gonna stick your hand in a Bunsen burner. If you don't know what that is, that burns really hot.
Very fast.
Ain't none of y'all gonna do that. But y'all do that every day with your soul, with the stuff you be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Say, the voice of him that cry in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of Yahuwah. Make straight in the desert a highway for our Alahym. What's he say that? You heard he told him, make straight a what?
Highway.
Where at though? Why that important? Because of sin. Make a tight way and a straight way out of a crooked way. If you don't even sit back and look at when we were going through the wilderness, we just went in circles, didn't we? We ain't going no straight highway. That's how what happened with the stuff y'all be doing. You talking about you want to serve y'all one day and you sin the next. You just going in a circle. You ain't getting nowhere. Guess what happened to all them people when they walked in that circle after a little while? They ain't getting no rest, did they? So y'all not coming to here. But he said those that sat back and hearkened his word, like Yahusha son of Nun and Caleb, because they had a different spirit with them, because they believed him and followed him wholly with the whole heart. See, they had a straight highway. They walked right on in. You know what I'm saying? For you to get right on in, well, you got to walk in that straight highway. That's kind of like what you were talking about, like, okay, Mom Dukes ain't like this here. But that highway is the highway of Kodesh, the set apart highway. That's a Mashiach. That means it's a tight road. Everybody can't walk this road. Everybody ain't willing to walk this road. And it take a humble person to walk this road. When I finish with this Isaiah 40, you can get Matthew 18 and 1. But let's finish this Isaiah 40 and 4 first. He says, every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of Yahuwah shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Yahuwah hath spoken it. So what you think this means? Every valley be made low. Made low, and every valley shall be exalted, but every mountain and hill be made low.
Humility.
Huh?
Humility.
That's humility. Before we read Matthew 18, my apologies, I think it's about Luke 14. Was it Luke 16? Luke 18, my apologies, and 9. So I'm going to tell y'all something, right? In Numbers chapter 12, when Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses, what did y'all say about Moses? What did he describe? What did he say he was?
Meek.
Say he was the meekest man upon the whole face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And we finna go back and we finna look at something with a Mashiach in a minute where he said the same thing. That humility is what's going to get you exalted. That's what got Moses exalted, was his humility. That's what got a Mashiach exalted, was his humility. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand something. Save one thing, Moses did everything that y'all told him to do. Everything. Hamashiach did everything his father told him to do. Everything. He didn't sit back and say, I'm not doing that. Even when he came to him about asking for the cup to be removed, he did it in humility. You know what I'm saying? I know all things are possible by you, Father. If it be possible, could you let this cup pass? But not my will be done, thy will be done. Even when asking for that, he came in a humble fashion. He ain't just come, man, you better move this cup for me. I ain't doing this here, man. He still came back, even before he said thy will, not my will, but thy will. He still came, all things are possible. If it be possible. He asked. See, y'all don't, a lot of people read that, you don't really catch what he was doing. That's humility right there. Why wouldn't I hearken unto his voice to give him whatever he asked for? You know what I'm saying? Remember when we looked at on what we thought was atonement? Remember what we looked at? This is the day that I've chosen for a man to afflict his soul, that his voice might be heard on high. But what's another way the word describe fasting is humbling yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you denying your body the things that it needs, you're humbling yourself before Yah. See, y'all just take fasting as just I ain't eating or drinking. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be a sign of humility. Then if you show forth this humility, then I can be able to come to you and meet you because you humbled yourself before. Don't you realize David did it? He was fasting. Don't you realize in the book of Jonah and Nineveh when they did all that, then the people went to fasting, that was a sign of humility. Putting on the sackcloth and ashes, that was a sign of humility. You know what I'm saying? That's why he told you, don't rend your heart. He said, don't rend your garments, man. Rend your heart. You know what I'm saying? Say, they don't need you to tear your clothes up no more. I don't need you to do that there. Tear your heart up. Tear your heart up. That's what you got to look at. You got to bring it down tonight. You have to actually sit back and realize when you come to dealing with this word, you know what you end up realizing? It ain't about you. It's not about you. You're just a cog in the machine. It's not about you. And if you don't want to work right, he can swap you out and get another part. Just that simple. Just as easy as you can be here today, you can be gone tomorrow. And I ain't talking about being dead either. Y'all, I'm sitting there telling you now, while we sitting back looking at, oh man, them dudes talking about they ain't keeping the Shabbat no more, the Messiah, they rest and all that stuff. But you just as stupid as they are with the junk you doing. How you any better than them? You might as well be saying the same thing they say. Look how you living. What's any different? Ain't that what we talked about on Wednesday? That's the first thing we let off on before we even discussed. After the information got brought to me, we could have been early. And the whole purpose of what I was telling y'all about was this. It ain't about if other people, you can't sit back and say, oh, them brothers in Louisiana, it ain't humble themselves. They ain't really, and trumpets wasn't September 19th, it was 13th. But then you won't do it when it's time for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just look at it as, okay, we adjusted once we looked in the information, seeing we were early. Looking at the agriculture, looking at the land, seeing that, okay, we were early. But what about the stuff you be doing, though? How you treat people. Stuff you do when ain't nobody looking. Don't you know the hallmark of a man and a woman is what you do when ain't nobody watching? You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all do certain stuff when you know somebody watching. What you do when the lights go off? And ain't no crowd. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody watching you but Yahuwah. Because I think y'all do stuff, and then y'all act like the man don't see y'all. The man say, I see everything the children of Yasharal do. He say, every thought that come into your mind, I know it. That's in the book of Ezekiel. Every last one of us sitting in the room, this man know every thought come to your head. Straight up and down. So you ain't hiding from him. He said, we naked unto him whom we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's better served for you that you get you a garment and cover yourself. And you know what that garment is.
Get them shoes and socks.
You ain't sit back and look at it though. You better look at the stuff y'all be doing. You ain't fooling nobody, boy. You playing with your life now. You playing with your life. But you know that's a sad thing. You be doing this thing, man, and you still doing the same junk you were doing 2-3 years ago. You still doing it. You still thinking the same way you were thinking 2-3 years ago. What is the problem? I mean, you ain't growing. You stagnated. You just want us to believe you growing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at stuff like that, man. You gotta look at stuff like that, man. It ain't no by accident, well, this man done had me tell y'all the last few weeks, boy, y'all know y'all weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? We just were talking about that earlier, wasn't it? Say somebody told you about that. You ain't want to hear that, though, because that was your weakness. She knew it. Matter of fact, when we was on the phone with her, when both y'all was on there, she said it then. I caught that. I found that very profound. That's why I said that to you last week. You know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead and let you know that. If you know where you're weak at, then you got to go ahead and cover that flank up. You know what I'm talking about? You usually going to put your strongest and best soldiers in war at the weakest part of where you at. You know what I'm saying? To kind of cover that. You ain't going to put your weaker shoulders to the back. You know what I'm saying? If this your weakest area, this our underbelly. Because if you can pin this down and get this here, you can take us all down. You know what I'm saying? You try to have a good mix of strong and weak where you know you got a good fortified area at. But we know it's weak back here. Shoot, I ain't gonna sit a nigga who can't shoot back there. Nigga who half blind. You know what I'm talking about? He can't see nobody. He can't hear well. He fall asleep on his post. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be watching for the enemy. He's slobbing. Next thing you know, we got guns to the back of our head. How did they get through here? Because old Bob wasn't ready. Hey man, I was tired, man. Tired. Nigga, we rotate shifts. You had a chance to sleep. 16 tonight. And he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. 2 men went up into a temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican.
18 and 9.
Yeah, 18 and 9. I apologize. And the Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, Alahym, I thank thee that I'm not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, even as this publican. That's what I'm trying to keep y'all from, because y'all say, them niggas don't keep the Shabbat no more, them niggas stupid. All this here. You better watch yourself. He said, I fast twice in a week, I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican standing afar off would not lift up so much as his eyes unto Shamahim, but smote upon his breast, saying, Alahym, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. You see how he made a straight way for the crooked. You know what I'm saying? Because we walk, y'all don't even sit back and look at it. When we've been walking and seeing and what we were doing, we were walking in a crooked direction. And this man came to make it straight. And y'all be resisting that because of your pride. Because at the end of the day, if something come up and the word showing you not supposed to do it, that's supposed to be the end of that. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't even supposed to be, well, what about this? And what you mean, what about this? And what about that? If it's showing you don't do it, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all think this man will send you in a way you shouldn't go? Then we already looked at a couple weeks ago, he said, I'm Yahuwah the Alahym that teach thee the prophet to lead thee in the way that you should go. You know where he trying to lead you to? He trying to lead you straight back to Zion. But you ain't going to be able to get to Zion your way. You're going to have to get there his way. And if something come up, no matter, boom, that's how it happens. And no matter what he come up or what it is that we got to cease from doing, boy, we got to cease from doing that to get to where we say we want to be. That man saying, Jeremiah, we supposed to be talking about, we asking the way to Zion with our heads to the ground saying, let us make a perpetual covenant with our God. That means you got to sit back and look at it. Whatever you got to do to get where you need to be, that's what you got to do. That means, I know you ain't throwing no tantrum, boy. You look too big for that. Y'all have mercy. But check it right. Like what I'm saying, to get to where you want to be, you know what you got to show? You got to have perseverance. You got to have wherewithal. You got to have determination. You got to have self-discipline. You got to have drive. You got to have the desire to overcome at all costs, no matter what come in front of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something, man. There are 2 types of mind frames, and one of them you don't want to have. And that one you don't want to have is the mind frame of a loser. Because losers are defeated before they even start. You know what I'm saying? They look at ways how they won't succeed. A winner's going to look at no matter what's in front of me, I'm going to overcome that. You know what I'm saying? Then I told you earlier, if I got to kick the door down, I'm going to kick it down. If I got to climb over the top, I'm going to climb over the top. If I got to take a sledgehammer to knock it down, I'm going to take a sledgehammer to knock it down. Hey, chill out, man. You all right? You know what I'm saying? So you see what I'm saying? A winner sit back and look like, I'm gonna make a way. I'm gonna make a way out of no way. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know how hard it's gonna be, but I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? A loser sit back, I can't do it. It's too hard. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that way. Anything you see to do in life, if you defeat it before you start, you will not succeed. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you fail. You know what I'm talking about? But at least you mustered up the courage and the effort to get up and at least attempt it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can look at what you did wrong and adjust it and come back or use that experience in something else you might seek to do. But you don't want to be, we've been defeated in this country for too long. You know what I'm saying? These people done beat us down to think like losers for too long. It's time to get that back to them. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to get that back to them. They ain't never want you to think you can win. That's why you get so excited and happy when you see a rapper or actor who's successful, because you feel like that's the only way we're going to win. Every last person sitting in this room that hear the sound of my voice, no matter what it is that you want to do, you can be able to do it. You just got to believe that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe that you can do it, then you won't accomplish it. And just like we were talking about the other day, if you say, hey, that ain't really my strong point, but it's something I want to do, then you find somebody who you can work with. You know what I'm saying? Come and tell you something. Yeah, we all in this thing together, but that don't mean you can do business with everybody. You know what I'm saying? You find somebody who you can work with that can offset what you may be weaker than, and then y'all make that happen. You know what I'm saying? The first a hallmark to be able to accomplish something is know what you're strong at and what you're not at. You know what I'm saying? And once you know what you're not strong at, then you seek back, especially with doing business, or just anything in life, period, then you try to surround yourself with people who are stronger in that area, because maybe you can glean information from them to bring you up in that area. That's why you hear people say successful people hang with successful people, or business people hang with business people. Because there's some people who they may not had a wherewithal in certain things in business, but they surrounded themselves with people who did. You know what I'm saying? And then the people who did was able to impart information unto them that was able to allow them to be able to get to where they wanted to go, instead of versus just saying, I just got to figure it out on my own. You know what I'm saying? That's how you go about it. That's how you can turn, if you want to turn a weakness into a strength, then go around and be around people and deal with people who are strong in that area, and you can turn that weakness into a strength. Okay then. You all right, Kingston? Yeah. He looking a little better than what he wore the other day. Nigga was crying, Kingston was crying, he just had one tear. Then he just had 2 tears. He was like this here. He say, Mommy, apples? Say later, TT, apples? Wait, apples? What your mama just told you? He like this here, boy. He said, boy, I ain't never went this long without food in my life. I don't like this. That nigga was sad. That nigga look like he was about to like this here. He happy now though. Look at him.
Couldn't even talk.
He ain't want to talk. He just walking around in circles like this here. He try to talk. What's going on, Kingston? I said, boy, you be all right. He energized now. You all right, Kingston? Yeah, I'm all right. So we'll turn around. We got to sit back and look at that. Come on to Matthew 11:27. We get to Matthew 18 in a minute. Make it 25. It was something, you know, we had went over this in the past. You know, we were talking to Trav about this here earlier. You know, what are we going to go ahead at 11:25, Matthew? We finna swing and look at something that he discussed. We done looked at this before. I'm going to see who remember. You can get your 1 Kings chapter 12. Go along with this. We still got our fingers on Matthew 18 and Ruth chapter 1. It'd be Matthew 18:1 and Ruth chapter 1 and about verse 12.
About that Samuel.
1 Samuel 15:23. I forgot all about it. I appreciate it. It don't make no difference. We'll get around that in a minute too. Look at Corey. Somebody give him a round of applause. How many of y'all besides me, in fact, what think Corey look like a deacon? All they need is a hat, don't they?
Pastor for Barney.
Nice to see you got your big boy clothes on.
Thank you.
You say his big boy
You
clothes?
got big boy clothes on today.
You sure about that?
Not that big, but okay.
You ain't lying.
That's right, one.
Oh, you got Kingston shirt on.
You say you got King. I'm telling the King, say give my shirt back. I've been looking for that all week.
I got one for you.
You got your shirt, Kingston?
Huh?
Later.
It says that. You gotta go.
Boy got waves on how to act.
You always have ways, nigga.
All I know is this. Just leave that alone. Boy, what kind of shoes are them?
The $10 special.
No, you look like you got on white boy shoes.
What?
$10 special.
What kind of shoes them? That's some Vans.
Man, I don't know. They were like cheap and I got them.
Oh, you was serious? They were $10 special.
I don't know about 10,
Oh.
15. 18.
I thought you had on some really loud. What I'm talking about, boy, all you need is a skateboard and a hole in your pants at a kneecap.
That's nasty.
You got some ruffles in it already. Like,
11 to 25. I ain't messing with y'all
like you
this
kept
afternoon.
running up though.
I'm good. I'm not messing with y'all today. I ain't fooling with y'all today. 11 to 25, Matthew. At that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Ab, master of Shamayim and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent and revealed them unto babes. Y'all heard what he told them? He said he revealed these things to the wise and prudent. He said he hid these things from the wise and prudent, but he revealed them unto babes. So keep that in mind. Even so, Father, for it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man know the Son but the Father, neither know any man the Father save the Son, and to he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. So if you sitting back, you know in Ephesians chapter 4, right? He said, you have not so learned of Mashiach if you have heard of him, if you've been taught of him. He just told you you need to learn of him because he is meek and lowly in heart. If we take what we talked about last night about letting us to choose to us judgment and let us know that which is good and the things that are pure and the things that are honest and the things that are virtuous, to think upon those things, that means you should be thinking upon the Mashiach, meditating in him, and then you would be lowly in heart now, wouldn't you? You would be meek now, wouldn't you? Which means you wouldn't be proud, which means y'all wouldn't have to resist you. The last thing you want is to be separated from your God. We've been separated from this man the entire time we've been in this hellhole. You know what I'm talking about? And then in these last days, he done opened your ear up for you to possibly save your soul, and you still gonna be a nigga. Let's finish the verse out. And he said, you shall find rest unto your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Well, let's come over here to 1 Kings chapter 12.
Still holding on Isaiah 41.
We good in Isaiah 40. We are holding 1 Samuel 15:23, Matthew chapter 18, verse 1, Ruth chapter 1, verse 22. And I got some other stuff we're going to swing to in a minute to go along with what we just looked at in this Matthew 11. But we'll take our time and slide and glide. That's your husband.
It's your brother-in-law.
He ain't my blood, though.
I know, man, I heard.
Slid it real fast, didn't it?
Them your nieces and your nephew.
Okay, so listen. Watch your mouth.
Thanks.
Look at little Conrad. He out of there.
You said 1 King what again?
12. Look at Conrad. That's big Conrad. Well, that's medium Conrad. Daddy big Conrad. Medium Conrad. That's little Conrad.
What's medium?
He's medium because it's his middle name.
Oh, Conrad. Hello, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I call it little Conrad. Yeah, that wasn't like funny enough. I mean, that's his middle name.
My pops, that's what they call
Yeah.
I was wondering what big Conrad was. I missed the disconnect. Went from big to little, then there was the medium.
All right, continue.
And then
1 Kings 12.
I missed it.
It said, Rehoboam went to Sechem, for all Yasharal would come to Sechem to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was in Mizraim, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, Jeroboam dwelt in Mizraim. And they sent him and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Yasharal came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke which he put on us lighter, and we will serve thee. Now remember what we just looked at in Yahushua chapter 9 yesterday. What did them Gibeonites say? What did they, when they came to Joshua son of Nun, what's the first thing they said to him, Troy? What's the first thing
We
they
have
said?
heard.
They don't. That's not the first thing they said.
Come on a long journey.
That's not the first thing they said. First thing they said was, we are thy servants. We are thy servants. That's the first thing they said out their mouth. We are thy servants. And then they went to talking about the journey and all that type of stuff. That's the first thing they said when they came to him. Don't you sit back and realize you see the king, the people coming to the king saying, if you make it light, we'll serve you. You know what I'm saying? Reason why we talking about this here because of, like I said, like, y'all remember, we done went over this before. You remember that? We done went over this before, but we were talking about it this morning, right? Reason why we were talking about this morning because somebody kept coming to Trav about, he make the burden easy and the yoke light, and he our rest. That's why we ain't got to keep no Shabbat. He's our rest. You're going to be resting in that pit, boy. Because you's a big old dummy, because you don't even know where he got it from. Because we can look at it in twofold. The first, we done looked at that verse in Matthew 11 twice. We done looked at it here in 1 Kings chapter 12 before, and we looked at it when we were in Egypt. We were under heavy burdens. You know what I'm saying? And he came and made that yoke light and gave us rest. You know what I'm saying? That's why when y'all got to sit back and you look at your employers, if they sizing you about the word and they trying to make your burden heavy, go ahead what you do, man. My master make my yoke light, so I ain't got no problem walking away from you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with this because it's probably going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. I'm standing on salvation. I'm standing on the word. How can anything bad come to me if I'm doing that which is good? The only way something bad can come to you because you ain't doing that which is good. If something bad come to you and you're doing that which is good, that means y'all ain't the man who he said he is now, is it? You know what I'm talking about? When you look at something bad, I don't mean a little something, because he told you in the world you have tribulation. So you might have a little things, you might have a little trouble.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Things can be a little difficult, a little hard. I'm talking about like pure outright. Well, you know, I'm be honest with you. Y'all know when something evil happened to y'all. Y'all know why it happened. You know what I'm saying? You know why it happened. Ain't no sense in playing no game. You know why it happened. Verse 3, I believe, verse 4. Well, I got to finish verse 4. We're in verse 5. He said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me, and the people departed. Y'all remember that, don't you? Leave me for how many days? How many days was the Gibeonites departed from Yahushua, son of Nun? Ain't that son? People wondering why the man say he got up in 3 days and 3 nights. It's all through here. It says, and King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, how do you advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a, listen to what he said, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words unto them, then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said unto them, what counsel give ye that we may answer this people? We have spoken, who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter. The young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make it thou it lighter unto us. Thou shalt say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. And now whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father have chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. So this man sitting back talking about how he gonna make it dead hard. And you know what the people sat back when they seen that the people didn't hearken, that he didn't hearken to the people? They said, man, we ain't got no inheritance in the son of Jesse. Let's go back to our own house. So Yasharal stopped fooling with Judah, which caused the kingdom to split, which we know that was of Yah anyway. You know what I'm saying? But do you see the key thing that the old men said? Why is that important with the old men? Just sit back and think about it. The old men told him, if you'll be a servant to the people and serve them, and speak good words to them, they'll serve you forever. Why is that important that the old men said that? Because you know what Jeroboam just showed you? He ain't had no humble heart. He lifted himself up. So you know, y'all know what ended up happening to Buddy too. He ended up getting killed too. So y'all resisted him. He had a chance to humble himself, but he didn't do it. But why y'all think that's important when he says, if thou wilt serve them, and be a servant to this people and speak good words, they'll be your servants forever. But we went over this before, so I'm going to see who remembers. Why is that important? You got to read what you need right on the board.
I know what I'm thinking about as far as how wine gets better with age, his spring gets better with age. These were the men that counseled his father, So I would have thought he should have listened to him.
I'm talking about, it say the old, what you think when it say the counsel of the old men?
Like,
It's something about something we just looked at last night, man.
Build their Proverbs, hearing,
That too, a wise reprover to an obedient ear. That's what too. That ain't what I'm thinking about. You know what I'm actually thinking about? Seek the ancient paths, the old ways, and you'll find rest to your soul. And who came? And who did Daniel see coming to the Son of Man coming to the right hand of who? And that Daniel chapter 7, it said he seen who? Ancient of Days. You know what I'm saying? See, so what you actually see is this counsel of the old men is actually the counsel that the Father would give it to the Son. If you serve them and be a servant unto them and speak good words to them, he said they'll serve you forever. Then we just read last night, he said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. He spoke good words to the people. You know who this take us back to in Genesis 49? You know what tribe that is? Come over here and look at Genesis 49. Y'all all right? See, we had to start with this here before we go to Ruth, though. Genesis 49 and 21. You know the reason why we had to do this here? Because we had to talk, because we talked about humility on Wednesday, and we talked about it last night, and we got to talk about it again this afternoon. About humility is what's going to get, one of the things that's going to get your soul saved. We talked about faith last week, right? The righteousness of faith last week, right? The righteousness of the law. Now you got to sit back and look at, you need humility to go along with that. You know what I'm saying? That pride going to get y'all to hell now. It says, Naphtali is a hind let loose. He give goodly words. Who remembers what the tribe of Naphtali, what that name means?
To prevail.
To prevail. He that prevailed will give good words. And he's like a hind let loose. You know, a hind is like a deer.
Free to run.
Free to run. But he say he give goodly words. You know what I'm saying? Hamashiach came speaking nice words to you. He told you that in Jeremiah 31. He said he'll come with loving kindness to draw you back. The whole time he was giving them goodly words, he was telling you what he was preparing to do for you. So I want you to look at, let's look at Matthew 18 and 1 first. Let's knock that off before we go picking up other stuff. Let's knock that off first.
So,
At the same time came the disciples unto Yahusha, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of Alahym? Yahusha called a little child unto them, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Truly I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of Alahym. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of Alahym. Don't you realize the elder shall serve the younger, right? Don't you realize this man humbled himself to come to serve you? He was already showing you that framework. That if you would come down, if he can come down and humble himself to serve you, you should be able to humble yourself to serve him. If he gonna make your yoke easy and your burden light, that's what the man said. If you do, this is what he said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So since we know the word, we already know this is the thing with Rehoboam. You know what I'm saying? And he told him specifically what that had to be done for these people to serve you forever. Become a servant unto them, serve them, speak good words to them, they'll serve you forever. It's plain and simple. And guess what a Mashiach come and do? He say, I revealed these words unto babes, not to the wise and prudent. You know what I'm saying? The wise and prudent meaning they proud in their mind. You know what I'm saying? Babes is humble. That means, so he was basically saying, well, the Father gave his words to the humble. Why you think, sit back and look at it like I told you how I call Trav tell me what he seen. Did I see it? I'm like, no, I'm finna check it out right now. And then I look at it. And then and we went in a whole different direction than what he did. We looked at it agriculturally. You know what I'm saying? And when we looked at it agriculturally, we came to the same conclusion. You know what I'm talking about? Reason being, because I can reveal these things to babes, because you can humble yourself to see it. Why you think a lot of these other... Brother Sean say these dudes been talking about the calendar been off for 3-4 months, ain't nobody made a move about nothing. How you ain't figured this out in 90 or 120 days? Boy, it took us less than 24 hours to figure it out. It took you 4 months to figure it out and you still ain't figured it out. Brother Sean trying to get it set up for me to talk to these dudes about it to the conclusion we came to. So they can crank it up a notch. It should have took, y'all think it should have took 4 months to figure that out?
No.
You know what I'm saying? We was looking at it real hard that night, wasn't it? We were pretty much sold right then, but we still want to just look at a couple more things. Because all that we'll say, hold on, I got my agriculture book right here, boy, let's look at that. I said, open them up, tell me what it say. We looking at it, we like, boy, look here. This is starting to make sense. Boy, this is plausible. You know what I'm talking about? We come back the next morning, he get involved with it, we look at a couple stuff, we like, yeah, boy. That's what it is. And then, you know, like I told y'all that night, all that sold it for me was, they judge these months by the sun. They judge these seasons by the sun. Oh, no. Oh, no. Then I went to think about Abib. Man, ain't nobody never told you to count the new moon after Abib. That's the new year. That man never told you that. You niggas doing that on your own. That's Jewish custom. And I went like this here. We doing Jewish custom. We know we got to scrap that, start all over again. And I told that's why I found that funny when we seen Buddy with that schnar walking through that old Jewish custom. That's one of the things you sit back and know we ain't got no. If they wearing fringes, I wouldn't wear them. Because you know they ain't got no understanding. You know they don't mess with a Mashiach. So they sitting back there, oh, you don't need that Jesus guy, that Yeshua, who's that guy? We don't mess with that guy. We're waiting on the Messiah to come.
First.
You know what I'm saying? We're waiting on one of those.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how they look at it. But remember, because we supposed to have a new and living way. We supposed to have a grasp and understanding of the scripture. It's like he said, you're not a Jew. You don't have a dreidel. This is how you're going to determine if I'm a Yahudim or not. Because if I have a spinning toy. You know, anyone can make a spinning toy and write a Hebrew letter on it and play it. Does that make them a Jew, sir? Does that make them a Jew? So I guess you're a Jew because you got candy curls. Better start singing New Edition in there, Candy Girl, all that now.
Candy curls.
That's what he gonna say.
I spun it.
That's the actual song though. It was coming to my mind when I said it. They walk around here with that black hat on looking like they finna go to a funeral. You know them people dead because they always got black on. Like they mourning somewhere. Saying words, what did you just say? All they want to jump around and talk around and say Mazel Tov. That's all they want to do. Break bottles and say Mazel Tov. You know what I'm talking about? And eat little kids and suck on baby penis and whatever it is else they like to do. Oh yeah, they like to put they circumcise young boys and put their mouth on their penis to say to suck the blood out of their penis. So you mean to tell me you couldn't get a syringe or some type of something else other than your mouth?
Some aloe vera.
I wouldn't care what it was. I don't even want to be the doctor that got to touch Jit Swank. Just listen to it like this here. I don't even want to touch my own. If it's my son, I'm like this here. Get your mama to do it. Get your mama. Daddy, I got a blister. Yeah, talk to your mama.
Get the blister from, boy.
What you been doing, son?
Hey, I had something tell me, he said he got burnt one time. He walked right in the room to his mom and pulled the penis out and showed it to her. I said, well, you better than me.
Me and my mom didn't have that kind of
Say, Mom, I got an issue. You know what I'm talking about? I wouldn't care if you 4 or 5 years old. Mommy, I got bit by ants on my pee-pee. Go around there, go to your mama.
I don't ever remember my mama begging me. Get in there.
I mean, that's a certain age they gonna do it now, then they
No,
stop.
I'm telling you, as far back as I used to 4, it wasn't happening.
You got a grade 8 memory, you can remember
I
folk.
can remember my mom was trying to make too bad.
I can't remember folk. I can't remember. I didn't tell you, I don't remember none of that folk. I got a couple at 5. And a few of them starting to fade.
Fading away.
I didn't tell you no lie, a few of them started to fade.
It's that permanent memory though, huh?
Hey, man.
Remember that
That
face?
was definitely real. Remember that, huh?
I mean, nigga, I was 11.
That face plant.
I ain't never gonna fade, huh?
Nigga, come on, man. Nigga, 5, nigga, that was 1985. Nigga, you was still a gleam in your father's testicles at that time.
I wouldn't even run around. I wouldn't even made when his testicles yet.
Yeah, you might be right. You just were around here floating somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That time we had Mel Road, man, just trying to get some snipes.
He's in the first year.
You know what I'm saying? Around here in Playdate, trying to win the potato sack race. Playing kickball. You know what I'm saying? Coloring and whatnot.
You was 11.
Talking about when I was 5, sir.
That was 1990?
That was 1985.
Wow.
Yeah, I know most of y'all in here weren't born, so what?
I'm just saying, wow.
It was 85, man. I mean,
Face flag.
you know what I'm saying? I can remember that Super Bowl in 85. I actually wasn't 5, I was 4. Bears and the Patriots. That's why I like the Bears after that, because I like Jim McMahon. But the actual first Super Bowl I remember watching was in 86 with the Giants and the Broncos. Yeah, Phil Simms got torched them boys. Y'all sitting like, look at that nigga, I don't even know Phil Simms other than him calling the game on Madden. Yeah, I watched him play. Yeah, I know who he is. Come over here to 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Corinthians chapter 1 and about verse 17. For Hamashiach sent me not to baptize, but to preach the good news, not with wisdom or words, that the cross of Hamashiach should be made of none effect. You know what happened when he got on that cross, right? You know what that was, right? That was him being humble. That's a sign of humility. We're going to read that in a second. For the preaching of the state is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us, which are saved, it is the power of Alahym. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. The reason why we can't sit back and look at it is he just sat back and told you what he'd do with the wise, with the proud. I will destroy you. Now we already know Hamashiach said, I did not come here to be ministered unto, I came here to minister. We know he came to serve. That's why the grace of Alahym was able to be given unto him, because he was humble. And us, in order for us to be able to achieve that same thing like what we looked at last night, which was resurrected him from the dead, which was the Ruach HaKodesh, the spirit of separation, you got to have that humility. If you don't have it, it will be impossible. Because remember, he said he gave goodly words, right? If you speak good words to him. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. You know what I'm saying? If you sit back and you hear, because he's a wise reprover. And if you got an obedient ear to hear them same good words he's speaking, then guess what happens with them good words? They dwell in you. And you dwell in them. And them same words is what's going to resurrect you from the dead. Because if that word is not in you, you're not getting up. See, these dudes like to talk about, see, we got a new covenant, got a law, better law, it's in our heart. But that word got to be in your heart, boy. It's got to be inside of you. If the word is not inside of you, you're not getting up. You can't tell me you got the faith of Abraham and do contrary to Abraham. When we seen the Mashiach say, if you be Abraham's children, he say, why don't you do the works of Abraham? Abraham had faith, but he obeyed as well. See, a lot of people like to scream that faith, but where's your obedience? You don't see y'all talking about Abraham was disobedient, did he? He was obedient. That's why he turned around and told Isaac, he kept my charge, my laws, my statutes, and my commandments. And we already know that law just ain't pop up in his heart out of nowhere. We know who he got it from, Troy. He got it from Melchizedek. Even still, I work a work in your days, which you shall no wise believe, even though a man told it to you. Because y'all law still y'all law. They said we didn't want to hear from you. Let Moses tell it to us. So how Abraham got it? From a man. Boy, the man cover himself on everybody. These niggas going to hell, boy, because they don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And niggas listening to him, playing on your lust. Philippians 2 and 5. People listening to him, playing on your lust. But you got to watch people when people play on what it is that you want. You got to watch that, man. That's the same way. Look here, I'm going to tell you something, right? It's natural for a woman to want to please a man that she like. You know what I'm saying? If she like you, that's natural for her to do it. But you got to watch a woman who really just will try to become what you say you like, and that's not in her repertoire. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if a man say, I want a woman who can cook, and she can't cook, and then she go learn to try to cook. You know what I'm saying? That's different. You know what I'm talking about? But if you want to, as you used the word you used earlier, you want a studious woman. That means I like a studious woman, a well-prepared woman. And that's not who she is. She gonna try to pretend to be that. But after a while, it's gonna show that that's not who you are, because you're not gonna be able to pretend that for too long. You know what I'm saying? If you want a woman who's business-minded or economically sound and all that, those things can be taught. You know what I'm saying? But if that's not already there, and you catch her trying to pretend to be that, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna fold in the end. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't try to pretend to be what somebody else may like or want just because you want somebody. Be who you are. And if who you are is not for that person, that's okay. That's okay. You gotta stop trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, man. If it's not working, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work, man. Let it go. This ain't good. I've told y'all this one before, man. We talking about this, man. Sometimes you can hold on to the wrong things, and then what's actually for you, you're not able to get it because you're trying to hold on to something you need to let go. Sometimes you gotta learn. It don't matter what it is. It could be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be friends. It could be family members. Man, it could be your diet. It could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff you got to release. When you release the things you need to let go, it'll allow you to be able to get the things that can help you get to where you want to be. You got to think about stuff like that. You know how many people be trying to force staying with somebody, man? They should have let them go. You know what I'm telling you? You know how many people pretend to be what somebody, they hear somebody say, I like this type of woman or this type of man. You know, men do it all the time. Boy, a man will pretend to be whatever a woman want him to be if he can have sex with her. You know what I'm saying? Women do the opposite. They pretend to be what a man want her to be so she can get married and then turn around and be who I really am. And he be like, she wasn't like this, bro, before we got married. Dumb nigga, she was capping. She was capping. You know what I'm saying? Because you said that's what you want, and that's what she was going to try to be. But if that ain't what you is, it's going to show, man. I told you one time ago, boy, nah, he said it's only so long fake thugs can pretend. You know what I'm saying? It's only so long. You ain't going to be able to pretend but for so long. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see people fall off from the word, because they ain't going to pretend like they want to walk in the word before so long before they let that alone. Philippians 2 and 5. And then after that, we read this 1 Samuel 15:23 and hit this Ruth chapter 1. We ain't holding nothing else. I don't think so. Okay then, Kingston. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua HaMashiach, who being in the form of Alahym, thought it not robbery to be equal with Alahym, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant. Ain't that's what he told Rehoboam to do? To be a servant. And was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself, and became obedient unto death, even the death of the stake. Wherefore Alahym hath highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahusha every knee should bow, of the things in Shalahim, and the things in the earth, and the things under the earth, that every tongue should confess that Yahushua HaMashiach is master, to the esteem of Alahym the Father. Don't you sit back and realize he gave grace unto the humble because he humbled himself, so he lifted him up. And you see how he lifted him up? He lifted him up out of the grave, and he was able to defeat death because he humbled himself to die in the first place. And in order for you, like we were looking at last night, if we judge that one died, then we should all consider that he done died for one. We should all live under him who died for us. It's the same thing. You're going to have to humble yourself. If you say this man done died for you, you're supposed to die with him. And if you die with him, then you'll get up with him, which means you'll be exalted with him to be made a son of Alahym, just as he was made, because he humbled himself. See, he did the exact thing that Rehoboam was counseled to do. See, Hamashiach took that counsel. He took that counsel. Why? Because as a wise reprover is unto an obedient ear. He took it. You got to remember that same word that's given to Rehoboam. You don't think that Hamashiach had already been told that word? Son, go be a servant and serve him. Speak good words to him. That serve your family. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling him to humble himself, and they will serve you. Well, you got to humble yourself. And what did the Mashiach say? I'll gird myself and serve you. Ain't that what he told you? You'll sit down at my table, and I will gird myself and serve you. Why you think he say a new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I loved you? Because that's what them old men were telling him to do. So obviously it wasn't new, now was it? 1 Samuel 15:20. It's amazing how these dudes grab all this stuff out of the New Testament and then don't go validate none of it. Just sit back and say, see, look what he said right here. Look what he said right here. Don't let nobody judge you in Shabbats and new moons and feast days. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about it. He going to be judged in hell. He ain't got to worry about it. That man say the same words you reject, it'll judge you in the last day. You know what I'm saying? For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahuwah, he have also rejected thee from being king. Don't you realize being pretty stubborn is being what? Proud. Proud. Because I told you, son, and you didn't care what I said. That man said you are an idolater and you lawless. That's dangerous. Ephesians chapter 5 real fast. You look at Ruth chapter 12. You gotta look at stuff like that. Boy, I'm gonna sit back and tell you something, man. When it comes to this word, this man got you pinned in and boxed in on every corner. Ain't no way you can run. The only thing you're gonna be able to do is you're gonna have to obey. Or disobey and perish. Because ain't no way you can go where you can slide and hide at. Because that's what these niggas be looking for, ain't them? Somewhere to slide and hide at. We can't be looking for nowhere. That's how you know you ain't meant to be saved. You ain't cut out for this if you looking for somewhere to hide and slide. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never sit around and look at nowhere for hide and slide. It's like they said, boy, you just got to start doing that right there, man. They just got to stop.
Hi. Do you have this room booked until 6?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I thought we have this. Let me check.
Yeah. You thought wrong.
She ain't sent a son in today.
I'm telling you. She thought wrong. We always get 2 to 6, don't we?
He said like,
I know that.
let me check.
I'm supposed to be here.
You go check. Hey, I don't care what you go check. Check your drawers for all I care.
It's gonna smell like curry.
Stop it, man. Ephesians 5:1.
They want the kids to be in here dancing, man. So
Smell like roasted lamb.
That made me think about what I heard what it say on he talking about, I like Greek food. It's like you like pieces of charred meat that tastes like leather or something. Sweat. Say unless you like charred meat that tastes like sweat. Sweat?
Smell like sand and feet. Smell like desert boots and whistles.
Say desert boots and bristles.
No missiles.
Oh man, that hard. That's concrete. Hold on. I know she's gonna try to swing on back here. You know what I'm saying? When you come on, swing on back here, I'm gonna bust you upside the head with this email. You going back here with it. I done already had deleted it, you know what I'm saying? But now I got to go ahead and hit the all mail. It's going to take a little minute because this thing just on September the 20th. That's the last time I looked on all mail. So we'll just keep going on. It's going to be a while before he get there. You know what I'm saying? But Ephesians 5:1. It say, be ye therefore followers of Alahym as dear children. Because if you're a dear child, you'll humble yourself. Just like Hamashiach was a dear child. Just like Malachi say, he's saying, thou shalt be mine when I make up my jewels, because you served me as a son, serve his father. You know what I'm saying? That's humility. That's why, remember that thing we looked at when he said, which one of them twain did the will of their father? That's humility. One said, I ain't going, but he turned around and went because he thought about it. Now let me do what my daddy told me. You know what I'm saying? Humility is the key that can open your heart up to be able to get what this man got to offer. You know what I'm saying? You can't say you got faith and believe, and then you don't have the humility to go along with it. He said, walk in love, as Hamashiach also loved us, and have given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to Alahym for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanliness or covetousness, let it not be once named amongst you as becometh Kodeshim. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Mashiach and of Alahym. Let no man deceive you with vain words, because of these things come the wrath of Alahym upon the children of disobedience. You know that with the flood. You know what I'm saying? But you see what he told him? He say a covetous man is an idolater. Because you know if you desirous, you can be a little stubborn. Because remember what he told you in Ezekiel 33? He said they hear your words, but they will not do them. Because with their mouth they show much love, but their heart go after their covetousness. You know what I'm saying? Your heart go after your desire. So you're going to be stubborn. You know what I'm talking about? So you's an idolater and you lawless. Ain't nothing to stop you and hold you back. Because you're going to do whatever it is you want to do. That's not the way we want to go, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. It's not what you want to do. There it is, and there's the email for Happy Self. Saturday, October 24, 2015, Conference Room, Pablo Creek Branch Library, 2 to 6. You, my good ma'am, have booked the wrong day. Sing and dance another time. Won't sing round here. Come on to Ruth chapter 1 and verse 12. And just think, I was like, you know, we could have finished a little earlier than usual. Now I'm going longer. No. Ruth 1 and 12. Make it 11. I'm going to go ahead and back it up to about verse 8. You know, we looked at this stuff Wednesday, right? We're going to look at it a little different today. Let's see what it says. Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, go return each to her mother's house. Yahuwah deal kind with you, as you have dealt with the dead and with me. Yahuwah grant you that you might find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lift up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, surely we will return with thee unto thy people. I'm asking y'all a question. Now, for those who were in the room, they are at the time, they already know what it means. Who knows what the name Naomi means? Anybody know what it means? Go ahead and tell them, little Stanley. You remember? Go and tell them what Naomi means, Gordon.
My beloved.
My beloved, my delight. You know what I'm saying? Now, my delight is telling her 2 daughters-in-law, may Yah grant you rest. Then he says she kissed them and lifted up her voice and wept. What that sound like to y'all? What that sound like? What it sound like to you, Troy?
Judas kissed Mashiach and he lifted up his voice and wept upon Satan.
Didn't he though? So there go another place where you can see why Judas came and kissed her. It's all the same word. Then it said to find rest in the house of your husband. Why else would she find rest in the house of her and their husbands? Because her sons done died, right? Hold what you got. Romans 7:1. Romans 7:1. The word is beautiful. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he live. For the woman which have a husband is bound to the law to her husband so long as he live. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of the husband. So then if while her husband lives, she be married to another man, she be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Wherefore, my brethren, you are also become dead to the law by the body of a Mashiach, that you should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit under Alahym. To those who were in the room, who remember what we looked at first, instead of Ruth chapter 1 for this right here? Where did we go look at this and see this here Wednesday? You remember?
Was it with David and Bathsheba?
You remember?
I remember Ruth.
What y'all smoking drugs? You remember?
Well, with Esau, right?
Judges 15:1.
Samson and
Oh,
no,
yeah.
yes I do.
You done smoked you a marijuana?
No,
No, that's what that white boy said on that show. He said, what's wrong with you? If you smoked a marijuana? He said, you ain't ate that what it was?
Alright.
He said, but it came to. He said, all right.
On the topic? Oh no, I thought you were talking about now.
You talking about now? You know he ain't now. That's Mikey. He likes it. That nigga probably thinking, you already know he ate. That nigga cracked everything in that bag. Ain't even talking about, ain't a crumb left. The roaches like, can we get a piece, bro?
Some hummus in there for you.
Man, them roaches don't want no hummus. It said, but it came to pass within a while after, in the time of the wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid. And he said, I will go into my wife into the chamber, but her father would not suffer him to go in. Her father said, I truly thought that thou utterly hated her. Therefore I gave her to thy companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her. And Samson said concerning them, now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure. Now what do you remember from what we looked at that yesterday, Wednesday, Troy, Stanley, or Corey?
Gentiles.
Listen to what he said, right? I'm going to see you catch it. You know what we always say in the time of the wheat, he say after, in the time of the wheat harvest, he went to his wife. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. It said, the father said that I thought you utterly hated her.
He gave us to our enemies because that's where our lust was.
You know what I'm saying? He said, I thought you hated her. But remember, we looked in Ezekiel 16, when we looked through this, right? Say you open your feet to everybody that passed by. You contrary to other women, and that you give your gifts to all your lovers, and they don't give you nothing. He said, therefore, I'll give you into their hand. Because the reason being, because of the abominations we had done committed by committing adultery, he said, I gave it to your companion. Well, when we turn around and look who was the companion, he turned around and gave it to the son. Because companion just means friend. Which when we finna go back and look with Ruth, that's what her name means. Friend. Companion. Then we looked in Proverbs chapter 8 and it says, you know, I was one brought up with you. Daily I was your delight. If I was brought up with you, how you doing? Mm-hmm. This is a chair for you right now. So if he was brought up with him, wouldn't he be his companion? Now when we turn around and we look at that Romans chapter 7 and say you could be married to another because the Mashiach had done died. So in that all actuality, he said, I gave your wife to your friend. You know what I'm talking about? You turn around and you look at Samson, he's a similitude of a Mashiach. When you actually look in the chapter before that, in the time of the wheat harvest, you see that he had that 7-day feast, right? You know what I'm talking about? Out of the eater come forth meat. You know what I'm saying? Which is a similitude of Passover. Then he coming for his wife in the time of the wheat harvest. But he said, I done gave it to somebody else. Don't you realize in the time of the wheat harvest, and this is 23 and 16 Exodus. I told you I was going to do it differently.
Yep.
I told you. He thought I was playing.
You got it 1,000, as you said. Cannot deny that.
Exodus 23 and 16.
He said 9.
You know what he got to do, man. He like Epsom. He like Epsom.
And some hot water, huh?
He like a little more. You talking about, I like natural sea salt.
She buys it. I eat it.
Yeah, you eat anything.
The pink Himalayan salt.
This nigga said pink Himalayan salt.
Bathe with it.
We didn't want to know you like that, cuz.
High nutrients. High minerals.
Okay, man, have y'all soap salt talk some other time. Around here talking about soap. Where we get these people from?
Nigga clean.
I give you that. I give you that. Because we talked about that last night.
Better don't come up here.
We come around here stinking funky, man. Feel like, boy, hey, boy.
Take a water bath. Take a water bath around here.
You know what I'm saying? Don't like this here, boy. I sit back and tell you, boy, when I was in prison, boy, I didn't be shocked. Boy, them white boy go to the shower, don't take no rag. You know what I'm talking about? Just soap like this here. Boy, what that gonna do? Well, you better get something a little rougher than that to go through them pores or something. Get some scrub action going on. That didn't trip me out. I'm like, well, all of them ain't taking no rag. I'm talking about, then you sit back, and then you know they give you white towels. They give you white towels in there, right? And white rags. You know what I'm saying? So if your body ain't clean, it's gonna show. You know what I'm talking about? You got your towel hanging on your bunk. That thing is dingy, cuz. I'm talking about, he ain't no light brown either. He like this here bleach ain't gonna do no justice for this. Get him a new one. I'm like, well, I can't go out like this here, man. I told you I was around a dude, boy, he was so stank, you could smell him before you got to him.
I was on a train one time and they smelled like straight onions coming from the train. It was disgusting. I had a girl at the train center.
All I'm just telling you, man, Yahoo Deem is like this here, man. You know, we with that there cleanliness, man. Wash your clothes, wash your body. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? I seen the video, man. Just looking at some stuff the other day, them boys we used to run through downtown.
Yeah.
All of them ain't there no more. It's just Slim who wore the glasses. They done got extra done. Extra done. They call themselves GMS Jacksonville, the Lions Den. You know what I'm saying? I say, boy, I'm glad. I say, boy, them boys better be glad. I don't navigate through downtown like I used to. Because some days, boy, after we be done, some days I be like, boy, I just want to go down there and catch them. You know what I'm saying? Just for fun, it's for sport. Because I'm like, I said, them niggas is dumb. You know what I'm saying? They are dumb.
He said that's somebody.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's your cousin. That's Slim nigga.
Nah, that ain't him. He run with him. That's some boys.
Oh, you need to call him up then.
I
Yeah.
told him about it. I told him to come through.
But no, we ain't got to. They got to come through here. We come see them.
They don't come to the house.
We come to you, boy. We like dominoes, boy. You ain't got to come here, baby. We come to you. Just 'cause I ain't seen him in a while. They want like this here, boy. I want to see if you still dumb as you were last time I talked to you. Yeah, I know it. I'm just talking, man. I ain't trying to fool with them, boy. Who, the car wasn't gonna whoop me? I bet you that. I bet you that. I bet you that. Bet you that. Who bet you? Well, I had to be like this here. You had to hear what them people tell you to do. Woosah.
Breathe it through your nose.
No, I'm for real though. Like what he's saying is like, no, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every man, even the more, like they said, boy, even the more humble man got his limits. You know what I'm saying? He was crossing that line. You know what I'm saying? He was crossing that line like he was about to say words like, yeah, I know right now you trying to provoke me to punch you in your face. And I'm almost there with you. But I know I can't do that. Like them boys ain't got no problem sitting there calling you no female dog, calling you all out your name. You know what I'm saying? You sit back looking at it like, bruh, you gonna talk to me like that? I'm like, bro, don't talk to me like that. I'm a man like you. I'll talk to you anyway I want to talk to you. No, brother. No, man, we men here. You know, it did work out well because it was people who were out there. They was like, bro, I like how you handled yourself with them dudes, man. Because I'm telling you, man, boy, without the word, boy, somebody like that would be killed. Boy, it's only by the grace of y'all he ain't let nobody kill them. Because them boys loose with their mouth. The only reason why they ain't going to get hurt by nobody because they in him and Plaza. Ain't nobody down there but homeless people. Mess with one of them, they gonna stab you up. Don't think they don't carry no pistol and no knife. 23 and 16, make it 15. 14 good. Exodus 23 and 14. See, 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I command thee in the time appointed of the month of Abib. For in it thou came from Mizraim, and none shall appear before me empty. Huh?
She's in the wrong Bible study.
Wrong Bible study. You can tell that. She sitting back looking at these niggas crazy.
No. I knew it was gonna be gold.
So you know she was in the wrong room with that move sun skirt. If y'all ain't never know what a move sun skirt was, there you go. See, come in here like this here. Some of y'all weak too. I seeing all that thigh, but let that woman go on somewhere. Corey got a deacon outfit on too. She gonna be like this here. I get me one. Like this here. Come here, y'all. Come here, sister.
Some scripture.
This here, you know, I've been a deacon for 22 years. They say you're only 23. How long you been?
Go look at that trunk, get you a suit.
How long you been in the word? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be up in you. I'm trying to help you out. Trying to catch yourself. That was just a Freudian. It ain't even got to be the strap. The whole outfit screamed deep. It ain't nothing about the suspenders. The whole outfit screamed deep. You'd have walked in here with a fedora on and be like this here. You took that hat off. Come here, girl. Come talk to Deacon Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like this here, you know. I've been here at First Episcopal Methodist Baptist Pentecostal Church for 10 years, girl. I ain't never seen a beauty like you. You want to come around there?
Brown stallion.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You want to come around there to the house? I got a brisket.
You don't know that comes from, do you? Smooth like a hot comb on some nappy hair.
That's outcast, man.
Okay. Where I came from. Alright.
Yeah, we already know anything you talking about coming from Atlanta. You around here talking about what that's who the boy was. What that song the boy had, D4L had. I know you were around here singing that, dancing to that. What that's? Laughing Taffy. Corey, just like this here. Laughing Taffy, nigga.
Well, your boy, they come from your city.
See?
There you go, he had it.
He know. Corey around here riding in the car like this here, bumping Laughing Taffy. Like this here, boy. Nigga get in the car with Corey, he cut that on. Come on, bro.
You're making runs.
Man, I wouldn't care what you were. You gonna rum this song about the radio.
Nah, boy, you stupid, boy. Y'all boys got that, boy.
You know what I'm saying? He around here talking about riding in the car, talking about nothing you buck. You know what I'm talking about? What's that other nigga around here playing Archie Eversong? All that.
You heard it, though.
I heard
He from Atlanta too.
Now, Archie.
He bringing Archie
That's
too.
fake Pastor Joe. Oh,
Ain't gonna be funny no more.
And who the other one was? That? No, yeah, I think so. I didn't remember the nigga. He from Atlanta. What's the one? What's the one that went to jail for robbing the bank? Bald head. What the name? Drum.
Miracle.
Yeah, I can't remember. You know, there's a lot of y'all had a lot of garbage niggas come from up there.
Yeah.
It's a hub of a lot of different things.
A hub of a lot of garbage.
That nigga said keep all his good.
Not everybody now. So, you know what I'm saying? Cause we know Goody Mob and Tip and Outkast, and you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't no Jeezy fan, but he wasn't horrible. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't care for him.
I mean, I was locked up, so I didn't really catch none of that stuff nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Gucci, oh my. Oh my. Well, you supposed to take, I know you was on drugs, you supposed to take.
I was.
No, you was on drugs, but you around here talking about Corey just walking in the house, brr, it's 85 degrees outside.
Nah, you know the sad part? I got picked for the singing superlative. And you know, like you give a quote. My quote was, keep your neck on chill and your wrist on freeze.
Well, you know you extra lame.
But my superlative was most likely to show up to graduation.
I don't care what your superlative was. You extra lame.
Late.
That's extra lame.
You supposed to let niggas discover that, didn't you?
I mean, back then it wasn't lame. Now it's lame.
It was lame then.
Hindsight.
It was lame.
Hindsight.
Get y'all niggas. All right.
That's what I'm
Well, you lame too.
Jamal.
She right there, she taking a full set.
I went right on that too.
Hey, but I'm trying to think of anybody else in Atlanta that escaped my mind at this present time.
Soldier boy.
That nigga from Mississippi. A lot of people from Mississippi.
I can't think of nobody else, you know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of hot garbage came from up out of the Ludacris. It was some Ludacris, you know, he ain't never want to never buy his album or nothing. I mean, I don't want to hear you for an hour.
That's the first one.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For about 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, you know I can live with that. I don't want to hear the whole record.
Mixtape track.
You know what I'm saying? I've been like this here, man. You know, hey, man, it pretty much we just went with the people we didn't mention, man. Tip, Outkast, and Goody Mob was good enough for me, you know. You know, the Dungeon family as a whole. Some of them niggas, I don't want to hear all your whole album, but you know, some of them have some decent stuff. There's some people escaping my mind. There's others, you know what I'm talking about, but they escaped my mind at this time. But a lot of hot garbage came from up out of there. That's undeniable. When you got D4L coming up, that's hot garbage. That was hot garbage, man. I don't care how much people bought. Just because a lot of people buy your record and play it.
I ain't gonna lie, boy. Them boys ball.
Yeah.
Gosh!
He wasn't a rapper though.
It showed.
OJ.
Young Grove.
OJ the juice. Garbage. Hot garbage. Dumpster juice.
One
Shine like
thing
juice,
I can say,
man.
D4L ball though to Jacksonville, everybody started wearing white tees after that. Though.
Man, niggas were wearing white tees. Niggas were wearing white tees when I was in middle school.
Oh, imagine
It resurfaced. That's how he
It never stopped.
They just got the bigger bottle.
That's a southern thing. People in the South do that everywhere. White t-shirts, Whatever pair of shoes they wear in the area where they at.
White tee go with everything.
I mean, down here people wore white tees and dicky pants for years. You know what I'm saying? That's how you knew somebody was from Jacksonville, because nigga from Jacksonville put on the whole dicky fit like he finna go fix on somebody's car. He got the whole jumpsuit on with big gun up under it.
Like Jason Boy, he
Big gun up under it. You know, that's how you knew somebody from out east, boy, he had that jump. Well, that nigga from out east, better watch that nigga. Monkey suit, I'm telling you, that monkey suit.
Whatever had a grandma shirt with pictures all over it.
But he look like a dope boy. He got the dope boy shoes on.
Hey, but I'm just saying, they already know, boy, you see that dicky monkey suit on? Watch that nigga, he got a pistol in there. That's that out east outfit. Ain't nobody but the nigga from out east with it. Yeah, don't nobody. I'm talking about that's the mechanic man fit. They say, well, you ain't worked on a car day in your life. You don't know a carburetor from a soda. I thought you said this was the carburetor. Nigga, that's a carbonated beverage. He don't know that.
Just to conceal artillery.
Just to conceal artillery.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted for. He got a big gun up under there. That man take that zipper down, boy. He gonna pull a gun out so long, you gonna be like this here, man.
Good got a zipper on.
See, y'all don't know that about that, some of that where y'all from. They ain't walking around with that monkey suit on. Y'all just sit back and look at, he probably work on cars. Nigga said that nigga got a ratchet up under there all right. Watch that nigga. Got a tooth. Like this here, you don't want nothing to do with it when he go to fix it.
He gonna pick us up. He gonna pick us up.
I'm trying to tell you. One thing for certain, two things for sure. Boy, that iron get your mind right, boy. Nigga be like this here, boy. Nigga be talking about, nigga ain't gonna do nothing to me. Nigga up there fine. Come on, bro. You got it, bro. Hey, I'm talking about like this here. They be like this here too. They could have been there. Screw that nigga. You got it, bro. Nigga ain't even told him to put his hands up. He like this here, bro. I ain't got nothing. I'm just gonna reach for my shirt, cause to show you I ain't got nothing, cause. Bro, hold on, bro. Don't do that, man. I'm sorry. I'm telling you. I'm 23 and 15, man. I'm telling you now. And the feast of the harvest, and the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field. Keep that in mind. And the feast of ingathering, which is the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in the thy labors out of the field. What you think about? I don't want to hear from those who heard it. What you think about when you hear that verse 16? In the feast of the harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field, 3 times in the year, all thy males shall appear before Yahuwah Alahym. Because we got to get ready to run this down in this roof. Y'all will. We got to get this roof. I might not get roof chapter 2 today. I'll say that for another day. But we're going to get roof chapter 1 before we get up out of here. I say because that discussion we went through, it was 4 hours long. And we hit on a lot of different things. And I know I ain't going to be able to jam everything, and I'm not going to do that. What y'all think about when you hear that? 3 times a year you got to appear. Now we already know, we talked about the barley harvest last night, right? With the woman hanging up them seven sons getting hung up to Yahuwah. She said, remember what she said? I don't want no silver, I don't want no gold. Just let me hang these up to Yahuwah. He said that way then we can bless the land and make an atonement for the land. And then guess what she did? Sitting there mourning at the grave, just like Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came and did. You know what I'm saying? So now we turn around, we've established that barley harvest. Now he turn around again and now he say right here, the first fruits which you sown in your field. Then he turn around and say, then at the end of the year, get the rest of your labor. So what that could mean? After we sit back looking at Samson saying he came to his wife in the time of the wheat harvest. So that means he had to come to his wife at the time of Pentecost. Because how do we know that? Because we already seen the similitude of Passover before that happened. You know what I'm saying? So now we see the similitude of Pentecost in 15:1. He said, man, I gave your wife to your companion. I thought you hated her. But as we already looked at Romans chapter 7, he said, man, I've allowed you to be able to be married to another that you might bring your fruit under Alahym. So now we turn around and we look at what we seeing with Samson. If he able to make her his wife again, how do you become one with your wife? 1 Corinthians 6 and 12, I should say. We good at Exodus 23. We still holding Ruth chapter 1. If I don't get all the Ruth chapter 1, then y'all we'll get it another day. Cause shit, you know we gonna redo it, so got 8 days to do it. Dang, I didn't forget what I did this. 1 Corinthians 6. 6 and 13 even better. 6 and 13 even better. Matter of fact, I'm going to read verse 12. 'Cause I've been telling y'all about this here, and I'm going to read verse 12. Say, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. You know what they telling you? Just because I have the freedom to do it, don't mean I should. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Meats for the belly, belly for the meats. For Alahym shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication, but for the Lord, or for the master, and the master for the body. I'm telling y'all this here, boy. Your body's not yours. You know what I'm talking about? That means keep your legs closed, your penis in your pants, and your hands off your genitals. If you're not using the bathroom or bathing, you ain't got no business touching your genitalia.
What?
Let it itch then. Some of y'all go to itch and the next thing you know, Vaseline done came out.
It's still itching.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you burning in your loins that serious, boy, you need to get your mind right so you can get you a spouse then, because you got a problem if you can't control yourself. You know what I'm saying? Something is wrong with you. You know what I'm talking about? Something is wrong with your brain. You can't control yourself. You know what I'm talking about? And if you ain't got nobody to marry, you better start taking cold showers then.
Learn to meditate.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, better learn something. You better find the ugliest woman you can find and a picture of it and just sit there and look at it.
Think about my hygiene.
Boy, some things ain't never gonna look good. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, look here, man. She round here for her back look like she round there flexing. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't gonna look good. Her back look like 4 slabs of ribs. You gonna be like, this here, shoot, I ain't even hungry no more. I was hungry. I don't even want nothing to eat. My back hurt. They say, how your back hurt? I don't even know. I just hurt everywhere. Y'all got to sit back and realize that, man. Your body is not yours. Alahym hath both raised up the master, who will also raise up us by his own power. Know ye not that your bodies are members of Hamashiach? Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them the members of a harlot? Alahym forbid. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body, for two shall, saith he, shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto the master is one spirit. So you obviously seen when Samson was coming to get his wife, he was seeking to be joined to in the time of the wheat harvest. When will we able to be joined to a Mashiach? Because he prayed, Father, make us perfect in one, make them perfect in one with me as we are. Even all them who will believe on their word. See, we're going to look at that in a minute. Hold on. I'm going to go to it. I ain't going to tell you about it. We finna go look at it. And he says, flee fornication. Every sin a man do is without the body, but he that commit fornication sin against his own body. Boy, y'all better get yourself under control, because you're going to hell. You dishonoring your body. You know what I'm saying? You dishonoring your body. You know what I'm talking about? You don't need to be sitting in your room rubbing on your nipples. None of that crazy stuff you need to be doing. You better sit down and go get something with yourself. Niggas sitting in there like y'all in there like this here. You leave that stuff alone. Around here get hot and bothered. Next thing you know, you're going to hell.
I said you're feeling good, but you're going to die.
You know what I'm saying? Sit your behind down somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? You got no business. Be around here talking about I want to hold hands with my old lady. Give me a hug, be all hugged up. You're going to be all hugged up all right. But I think Ric Flair daughter don't call it the figure 4, she call it the figure 8. That's what's gonna be going down. You know what I'm saying? Then you can look, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. You sure shouldn't have, you big dummy. You ain't think about that when you were going to do it. And you want somebody to feel sorry for you, crying, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Man, get out my face, nigga. You wasn't think about that then. No? That made me think about what that Tyler said. That's what you used to do. Sleep with it and go crying afterwards.
I felt terrible, man. I really
You ain't feel too terrible, because you jumped right off in that moment. You ain't feel too terrible.
my flesh
I'm talking about, okay, I give him a cry after the first time. After 3-4 weeks, nigga, go ahead on.
I wouldn't be crying. I was just feeling terrible.
feel terrible. I feel terrible. I want to get wet. I just want to get wet, but I was terrible.
They say you want to get wet, but you terrible. Go ahead on. You like this here. You trying to swim. You done swam. Oh, we done sinned against y'all. Tuesday night. Come on, girl. Let's get it. You sitting in there crying again. Oh, my word. We should have did this. Girl, come on, too. Boy, that booty looking right. Go toot that thing up one more time. Shoot, boy, I done got a joke. Say you want her like this here, she would have. Oh, hold on. It's going down.
Don't take much.
Don't take much.
Not at all.
Look, he young, he's still in the twins, in prime still. Nigga say the wind can blow, he ready.
That's all that marine.
Then he taking all them drugs. All that marine like this here. Roll it.
And that weed oil, it look good.
Weed oil.
Okay, yeah.
We believe that stuff on Believe that stuff on this thing. You know you be talking about who got a ganja blunt. Ganja.
No, I wasn't smoking no more, because I just thought Nimrod penis not sucking blood. So.
That's all. Ain't that the crazy part? He ain't want no Nimrod penis, but you ain't had no problem dropping your penis off with this girl.
Huh?
No
I
problem.
felt bad. Just
You ain't feel bad enough because you kept on doing it.
Because that felt good.
Felt good. I knew that it would. For a moment.
it had been almost a year too. Yeah.
He done dove in.
It was almost
He like this
11
here.
months.
He like Mike Tyson. Wah, wah, wah.
I'm a man.
They heard him, they just ain't seen him.
Nah, tell him why you say that. Tell him what you did.
No, we're not going to that.
No,
We're not going to that.
Say he done brought it out, Troy.
No,
Tell on it. You gonna do it anyway.
I ain't going there. I ain't going there, bro. I ain't going there. If you want to tell him, you
Tell him.
I ain't going there.
Tell on him, Troy.
I ain't going there.
We implore you, by the mercies of Mashiach, go to tell on
Ain't
him.
that no snitch? Don't talk about him like snitch.
Not on camera. But as soon as the camera go off, you gonna tell on him then. He said he gonna tell on. He might well, he don't listen to being ashamed. Shoot, he gonna have to confess it one day.
He's gonna take the mercy break.
Hey, let me finish this word, man. It's after 5. Let's go get out of here. Like this here, boy. Corey, you's a man, huh? What he did, Troy?
What you did when you say your man?
You tell him, bro. You wanted to bring it up. You be blessed.
That man want to know?
Don't.
That's the word, man.
He said, well, Troy spared you. I'm like, they say, you set yourself up, but you open that door, Troy just like try to walk on in. Like this here, when somebody you leave the door standing open, somebody walk up, anybody in here? You know what I'm saying? Anybody like no shalom, they sitting there looking at it so I can rob you.
I was talking about the little Indian kids. They were looking.
They always looking. They ain't looking for no word, they looking for Krishna.
He ain't in here.
So lame. If he in here, gonna kill him. Verse 19, though, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is in you, which you have of Alahym, and you are not your own. For you are bought with a price. We talked about that price last night, didn't we? Glory, therefore, glorify Alahym in your body and in your Ruach, which are Alahym. I mean, that's not your. You ain't got no business around here doing none of that freaky deaky stuff. You married, you get married, you can get as freaky as you want to get. Long as you ain't doing stuff that you already know that'll foul that marriage bed. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care what you do. You ain't married, keep your penis in your pants. You ain't even you know how dumb you got to be to even sit back and put yourself in that situation for that to happen. That means you wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? That means you wanted to do it. I don't want to hear no excuse, no nothing. Just sit back and just all I want to hear. I was stupid. That's all that's got to be said. I'm a dummy. Because when you come with them excuses, you know what that's actually going to do? Make me mad. Because that means you already know you wrong. And then you trying to make it look this particular way so I can try to view it. And when actually I'm just like, nigga, you just need to just stop while you're here. You know what I'm saying? So now we see that wheat harvest when it came on. Acts chapter 2. He said the time of your wheat harvest. Well, let me get John 17 and 20 first. Then Acts chapter 2. Ain't this son? The word is amazing. Ain't nothing like it on the earth. Thanks. Neither pray I thee for these alone, but for them also which should believe on. Leave it alone, Leah. There you go. Neither pray thou for these alone, but for them also which should believe on me through their word, that they all may be one as thou, Father, art in me and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. So when we talk about bringing in the fruits of the harvest that you labor for in the field, and we turn back around and look at Acts chapter 2, because he prayed that these, come over to Acts chapter 2, that he prayed for these people to hear their word. He said, even those who believe on them. And we know in that day when Pentecost was fully come, that the apostles received the Ruach HaKodesh, and Peter went to preaching the word to them people. And he said, what shall we do? He said, repent every one of you and be baptized in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach for remission of sins. And you'll receive the gift of the Ruach HaKodesh, right? Then he said, you'll receive remission of sins, right? So then when we drop on down, even when we sit back looking at, in this instance in Acts chapter 2, this is an instance of grace being given to the humble, because these men were pricked in their heart when they heard their word and they repented. Verse 41. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized, and the same day were added unto them about 3,000 souls. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And all that believed were together, and all had all things in common, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men as every man had need. And they continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart. Which means how Samson coming was to be joined to his companion, to his wife, but she had been given to his companion, because his companion had enrolled from the dead and been able to sit back and look at what we see in the beginning of Judges 15. It's talking about Pentecost. When you actually go down further in Judges 15, it's talking about the death of Hamashiach, go right back to unleavened bread again. You know what I'm saying? Then you go to chapter 16, and it's still dealing with unleavened bread. You know what I'm saying? But what you seeing is just in that 15 and when he said, I thought you hated her, I gave her to somebody else. Because he did hate her. So that's why Mashiach had to die and become a new creature, so I could take her back. Then we could bring forth fruit to Alahym in the time of that wheat harvest. Because right then he sowed that in the field when he said, neither I pray for these alone, but those who will believe on me through their word. Because that's the seed, that's the fruit that he sowed in the field in this. Then he coming back at Pentecost, and he's sitting back coming to reap that. Not only just with the 12, but the 3,000, because it was actually, without them 12, the one out they picked Matthias from, it was actually 120 that they picked him out of. Because don't let nobody sit back and tell you that them 12 men, counting Judas, was the only people that followed this man. When you know that he sent them men out 2 by 2. Out of 70 men. There were a lot of people walking with this man. It was just 12 specifically he had to choose for the sake of fulfilling the scripture that you know by name. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do to about the 12 were the only apostles. Who told you that? Hamashiach never told you that. He never told you the apostles stopped with the 12. You know what I'm talking about? How could Matthias become an apostle if he wasn't lock stock with him? See, matter of fact, look at Acts chapter 1 on that matter. Acts 1 and about verse 14. It said, these all continue with one accord in prayer and supplication with the women, Mary, the mother of Yahushua, and with his brethren. And in those days, Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, the number of the names together were about 120. And then he begins to run down about Judas, and then drop down about verse 20. For it is written in the book of Psalms, let his habitation be desolate, and let no man dwell therein, and his bishopric let another take. Well, let another take his office. How can somebody else take his office unless he had been prepped and primed for the job? So that means he would have had to been with it. He said, wherefore, of these men which have company with us all the time, that the master Yahushua went in and out among us. That means he said those 120 men were with him the whole time. Now what they gonna do with that? Listen what he said when it started. Beginning from the baptism of John unto that same day he was taken up from us, must one be ordained to be a witness with us of his resurrection. And they appointed two, Joseph called Barsabbas, whose surname was Justus, and Matthias. And they prayed and said, Thou, Yahuwah, who know the hearts of all men, show whether these two thou hast chosen, that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship, from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place. And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles. So for you to sit back and somebody to sit back and say apostleship was just with the 12, he's an idiot. Because it said these 120 men were with them the whole time from the start. You hear people say that all the time, though, ain't it? The apostle just was the 12. No, it wasn't. Because Matthias just became one. How could he become one? Because he learned from a Mashiach directly. He was there the whole time. He was there the whole time. Come on back to Ruth chapter 1. That lady came in here and said they're preaching about stuff that I've never heard before. They're reading in Exodus. We don't read in Exodus.
He said he's been in prison.
Hey man, I ain't lying though. The white boy got in that shower, boy, they ain't take no rag with them. I was appalled. How you bathe like that? That's how you see people bathe when you be watching movies on TV. They just got soap singing. You ain't clean, cuz. Say how you got clean like that?
How do we do it?
You like this here. That's how they be in the movie. You see them on TV, they rocking that soap. They be singing a song. They don't soap nothing up but their chest. Ain't no soap went across their face, across their neck, legs, genitals, nothing, just their chest.
It's gonna fall down.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's gonna fall down.
You know what I'm talking about? They just get out the shower like they clean. Nigga, you never scrubbed your chest with some Lever 2000, cuz you ain't clean. You ain't even hit all 2,000 places. It made me think of because somebody played that clip or whatever movie that was. Regina King had put that baby oil down there on that floor and whooped that man. Yeah, I guess she had done caught him cheating. She finna tell him saying she in her lingerie. He like he finna get him some.
That was on the Tyler Perry.
Oh, you talking about that nigga was in that wheelchair?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, this. Oh, no, it is this people.
And he come in the house, he like, yeah, I'm finna take that shower. He like, this here baby, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. She done put that baby oil on that floor. When that nigga came up out that shower, them wet feet. He went to slip it. Wow. I said, oh boy. I wouldn't even try to get up. I just would have laid there. You gonna get off. Boy, when I get up out in the bathroom, boy, you gonna see me, boy. Cause you ain't gonna do that but frustrate yourself trying to get up. Or I'm gonna go army style on this nigga. Go army style.
Get there, though.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna sit there and tell you now. Say I don't hit women. I'm gonna hit you today though. I'm gonna hit you today though. I'm gonna use son. Like I said, he don't want to take a towel off. I gave him one to beat the show in the movie. I like to say I had to wipe all that baby up. You finna come see me though. You finna come see me though. What I do with my penis is my business. This is not called for. This is not called for. That's what they say. This is not called for. You could have just left, nigga.
Once she got, she ran.
I know she did ran. Cause you know it's gonna be something to tell the captain after that. But you can't whoop no grown man like that. That man might come in there and Russian suplex you, man, when he get hold too. You know the worst part is, boy, I watched my homeboy mama do his daddy like that. German suplexed him. Grabbed that nigga. Whoa! I said, oh my word, boy. No, it was like this happened. Don't try Mom Dukes. It was like this here. That's all that tell me. Say, boy, you better try your mama. Boy, that was Brute Mama did that. What? Suplex that nigga. That way every time we went down there, he go to get in trouble. I looked the other way. She ain't finna hit me. Boy, that woman suplex grown man. But what you gonna do with that? Boy, a woman bold enough to walk up to you and belly to back suplex you? What you gonna do with that? You on the ground like this here, what you gonna do, James? Man, shoot, boy, that whole crazy. You ain't lying. You say, boy, what you gonna do? Boy, I'm gonna move out, boy. Boy, you shame, boy, your old lady suplex you, man.
Then you leave.
What else you gonna do after that?
You can't tell her to leave.
You gonna tell her you gotta get out, baby? Really? Really? Look at T. Look at T. Look at thinking. I wonder if I can suplex him. Come on over here if you want him.
Come on here, come get you some.
Come on over here if you want him. I know I can suplex you. Just try me if you want him. I know how to do it, boy. I watched enough wrestling over the years. I know how to grab you and slang you. Wow, nigga, suplex city like Brock Lesnar. Wow. Straight up, I'm talking about he was throwing Undertaker around like a rag doll. Nigga sit back looking at that boy. See, y'all don't know we've been watching Undertaker the whole 25 years. Sit back and see somebody toss around like this, even though you know this stuff is organized, predetermined and all, you like, boy, they just can't toss but crack around the ring like this here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, how did you even agree to let this man toss you around the ring? Come on, man, you ain't got to do this crack like this here. Boy, he tossed him around there like a rag doll. Boom, this a 300-pound man. You know what I'm saying? Well, I knew Brock Lesnar was strong, boy, when I seen videos of him running around with logs on his shoulder. That's a white boy, you run up on him, boy. You ain't confident with yourself, just go and pull the shotgun out. Joe did too. Dude knocked him out. He got knocked out a couple times.
And the niggas got a glass chin.
You know what I'm talking about? Exactly. So a lot of them do. They ain't never had nobody tap him. Then you got some people hit so hard you apologize for them. But boy, I done heard a story. They say Mike Tyson hit a nigga so hard, nigga apologized for Mike. Say, Mike, I'm sorry. He had to hit me, man. I'm sorry. Well, I done seen that in real life though. Nigga hit a nigga apologize. I'm sorry. That they were great. They said, I'm sorry. Nigga say, who got hit? Nigga say, boy, that nigga, you to see hit that nigga so hard. Wow. That nigga say, who got hit? Nigga say, nigga, you got hit. I'm dead serious. This is a true story, man. Right at Inglewood, boy, David Sterling. Boy, he hit that boy so hard, boy. When I'm standing right there. When he took off on him, I said, my God. Boy, you gonna kill him, man. You can't be hitting people churn like that. Boy, I forgot what he even hit him for. Hit him for no reason. And called like this here, who got hit? I said, boy, you done gave that boy concussion. So get from around you before we catch a murder charge. Nigga, flee. Boy, sometimes, boy, your homeboy do something stupid to be happening so fast, all you think about is, let's just get out of here. No, did anybody see this? You start doing this move like here, you just start easing back. Easing back. See, everybody just don't take off and flee at the same, it's real smooth. You know what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, you look up, everybody gone. He got blood on his face, people, what's happened? I don't know where they went at. Shoot, boy, we done hit another spot. We done got ducked off. They looking for us. I don't know, don't go out there.
That's a concussion.
Boy, nigga hit you and you talking about who got hit. Well, you got a concussion. You have been concussed. We need to go through the concussion protocol and get an independent neurologist out here. But the concussion dangerous now. And he gave him one that way. I stand by that. You know what I'm saying? I believe that with every ounce of my being. Straight up, a straight jab, short jab. I said, boy, you put some power in that one. Or either his chin weak, one of the two. Because when you actually seen the punt, he didn't hit him that hard. At least it didn't look like it.
He put his body in it.
He ain't put nothing in it. Just, he just hit him right here though. And they said, who got hit?
Reset.
You see the head do like this here when he got hit too.
Reset.
Come on, man. Root chapter 1, man. Verse 9. I don't know if Lake was over there when that happened. That was right over there by them bathrooms, by the wood shop. You know what I'm saying? I did, that's what I said. As soon as I said, well, that's a concussion. Well, as soon as he said who got hit, well, I didn't even think about that. The first thing came out of my mouth, well, that's a concussion. That nigga, all I'm thinking of, boy, we going to jail. Well, let's get somewhere.
I read about these.
Ain't no read about these, boy, I'm gone, boy, we going to jail. We got to go somewhere. All us going down, because they, man, messing with us, they were going to say all us hit it. We got to go. Y'all don't realize that, man. That if all of us was in a group together and one person hit somebody, they gonna say we all jumped on it. Boy, we got to go.
Oh, man.
That's why the same thing when we told you about that time like we finna throw that jacket on Tafiq, man. They can't, y'all, why y'all gonna jump? They already know we had a reputation, man. They already know you mess with one, you mess with all of them. It's about 30 of these niggas.
Oh,
Sounds like mayhem.
who got it?
Indeed. I'm for real though, and I'm talking about if you mess with one of us and all of us were present, you knew you were gonna have to see everybody standing right there. And then it was known that we would go get the cavalry and come see you. Cause one time, messing with Don Shay, when something happened, boy, nigga went and got the whole crew. All of a sudden, all C-Wing, our whole team on there, them boys didn't even think that was gonna happen. They just thought they were gonna jump on Don Shay.
Wow, think about that over
You know what I'm saying? They just thought they were gonna jump on Don Shay. Next thing they know, here come Reggie, here come Fred, here come me, here come Fat, here come Eric. Nigga don't even nigga don't even like Don Shay like that. It's just the niggas you beefing with. We don't like them. You just happen to be I have a mutual enemy. So you could be cool with it because of that. Should have left that old funny looking nigga right where we found him at. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Supposed to let them niggas damage him. So let's go ahead and let that nigga beat him up. But just because we ain't like them, that's how we end up being friends with this old clown nigga here. See this chrome. See this chrome.
Oh, man.
Roof 1 to 10, we got to get out of here.
See this cool.
We ain't even going to be able to get down to everything I want, but we still got what we needed to get, though, nonetheless, though. So I'm going to tell y'all something in college, because you know, some people like, y'all be joking. That's what he told you in the that's what he told Troy. Y'all like, yeah, we can sit, joke, and play. I mean, just because we in the word don't mean we can't smile, have a good time, but we know we here for business, though. No, at the same time, we done went through a lot of stuff. We can't here handle our business now. You know what I'm talking about?
Who said that?
Oh, that's what Kid told Troy.
Oh.
He said, y'all joke around too much and be laughing and talk about your trap days. Like this here. Don't even realize every time we talk about that stuff, we bring it right back to the word every time. Every time. That's what he said he told him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, hey, but sometimes that stuff be a trap for somebody, man. Go ahead and get you caught up in something where you missing everything that we talking about. I say, man, just because you in the word and you seek Yah don't mean that you supposed to be rich. Because a lot of them Hebrews online act like, well, you can't smile, you can't laugh, you can't have a good, what is he laughing for? What you mean? Like how Beans was and get rich, get down and lay down. Looking at Dame, them niggas smiling all the time, playing all the time. That nigga like this here, come on, nigga, I got to be balled up, looking ugly every day. You know what I'm saying? For real. He said, they said unto her, surely we will return with thee unto thy people. Naomi said, turn again, my daughters, why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb that they may be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters, and go your way, for I'm too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have a husband also tonight and should also bear sons, would you tarry for them till they were grown? Would you stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, it grieves me much for your sakes that the hand of Yahuwah is gone out against me. What that sound like to y'all? Hold on, let's read verse 14. And they lifted up their voice and wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. So you know what Orpah did? She walked off. Remember what we read in John 6 last night? It's some of you that believe not, and many of his apostles walked not with him after that. Listen. And you know that's that fake cry right there.
Hey, hush it up.
Ain't even no real cry she doing. Look at her face.
No tears.
Ain't even real.
Hush it up. On the head. Sit down.
Lizzie, you was a real phony.
You had an off button on?
Because she was high cap. Remember what we read in John 6 last night? Many of his disciples walked not after him after that when he told them, you got to eat my flesh. You got to drink my blood. They stopped walking. But it said that Ruth clave to her. She stayed. Just like Peter stayed too, didn't he? Just like Peter stayed. Say, where we gonna go? You got the word. Did you see the key thing that she just said right here? It said, hold on. And she said, are there any more sons in my womb that they may be your husband? Well, when you turn around and look at it, weren't there some sons left in that womb to be your husband? Since Amashah was male and female at the same time. And him coming up out the grave, being born again, made in that likeness of the material Shamayim, there was another son in my womb to be your husband. Same thing you sit back looking at Judges about you getting a companion. You know what I'm saying? Being made new. You have to sit back and look at that. That's what the process is about. In order for you to be made new, you got to die. And in order for you got to die, you got to do just like we talked about what Amashah did. What did he do? He humbled himself. He humbled himself. So when he was able to humble himself, he was able to be, we were able to serve him forever. Which is what you see in Ruth wanting to do. Serve Ruth forever. I mean, Ruth wanted to serve Naomi forever. Because you know what Ruth's name means? Friend and companion. And guess what Amashah said in the 15th chapter of John? He said, I don't call you servants. I call you friends. Because all the things that I've known of my Father, I've made them known unto you. You know what I'm saying? He said, you are my friends if you keep my commandments and do whatsoever I command you. Remember, Abraham was called a friend of Alahym. Why? Because he believed and he obeyed. Therefore, he could become what? One with him. Y'all will on Wednesday. We'll get to the other part of the wheat harvest. I ain't get all of it. We touched Pentecost part of the harvest, but I got to get the tabernacle part of the harvest. Thought we'd get it today, but didn't happen. Didn't happen. Let's finish on down the line. Verse 15 says, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her gods. Return there after thy sister-in-law. Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee or to return from following after thee. Whither thou go, I will go. Where thou lodge, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy Alahym, my Alahym.
May I have your
Hold
attention,
on.
please?
That's what I'm saying what she got to say, because we're going to stop right here at 17. What we looking at.
Those needing a ride home,
Anybody need a ride home?
call now. All meeting rooms will close in 15
Call
minutes
now.
at 5:45 p.m. The library will close
Promptly at 6 o'clock. Promptly. Listen to the next thing she says. Where thou die, I will die, and there will I be buried. Yah do so to me and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. This nigga here. Come on, man. This nigga called my phone. Now you see that it says that in my affliction, my delight was grieved because the hand of Yahuwah went out against me. Well, you already know, we know from Matthew 17 and 1, well, 1 through 5, what did he say? This is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased, which means he's my delight. So we see when he basically said that, he was saying Naomi. You know what I'm talking about? Then we turn around and we know the hand of Yahuwah went against him. He turned to be his enemy. Why did he turn to be his enemy? Because I needed to get a husband for my daughter, for my wife. Didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? Drop on down, right? So when we look at what you think that means when this woman say, I will not return from where you go, I go. Where you live, I live. Where you die, I'll die. Where you're buried, I'll be buried. Huh? That too, but you know what some of these things go back to? Y'all know what this stuff go back to? Hamashiach said, if any man will be my disciple, let him take up his cross and follow me. Say, where I am, my servant will be also. So where I go, you go. What else did Hamashiach say? We already read in John 17. Father, make them dwell in us, that they may be perfect in one, even as we are. Because where I dwell, you will dwell. And my Father's house is many mansions. I go to prepare a place for thee. If it wasn't so, I would have told you. He's saying the way that I go, you know. So where I live, you gonna live. And then look at the next thing that she said. Where I die, you will die and will be buried. Romans 6 and 1. Which is going back to what we talked about last night and what we talked about this afternoon is humbling yourself and dying to your flesh and your desire to save your soul alive. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Alahym forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Know ye not that so many of us were baptized into Yahushua HaMashiach, were baptized into his death? Is that not what this woman just said? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as a Mashiach was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we should walk in newness of life. For we've been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall also be in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should serve not sin, for he that is dead is free from sin. Do you not realize when you sit back and look at Ruth, that that is another similitude that go along with Romans chapter 7, because you were able to die, your husband died, and you would be able to be married to another, to bring forth fruit under Alahym, because she ended up marrying Boaz, who produced Jesse, who produced David, who is the line that a Mashiach came through. So it would make a lot of sense for her to say, where you go, I go. Where you dwell, I dwell. Where you die, I die. And where you buried, I'm buried. Which is showing you what? That humility to humble yourself unto the word and serve the true and living Alahym. That's what a lot of people don't want to do. Hebrews 13 and 8. I hear the police riding. Say Yahushua HaMashiach the same yesterday, today, and forever. We sit back looking at no matter what we looked at in their word, that man ain't changed it. Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines, for it's a good thing that their heart be established with grace, and not with meats which have not profited them that have been occupied therein. When we read that on Wednesday, we went to talk about how these dudes arguing about if the earth flat or not. That's not something to even be occupying yourself with, because it do not profit you. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, they doing all this arguing, but they still beating their meat, they still telling lies, they still beating on their wives, they still getting high, they still getting drunk, still cussing, still see the dude, y'all talking about dude, put up talking about got my second wife. You know what I'm saying? You a second dummy, that's what you is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see how women go for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you though. I don't even see how they go for that. Oh, I'm sitting back, you sitting back. If a woman clanker, you know, I always study to show yourself approved. You know what I'm saying? If you was a workman. But we know that's what that's about. But the average person, that's average Hebrew Israelite, always boasts about how much they read the word, don't they? So you read all this stuff about oneness and you go for that? You go for that. Singleness of heart, one body, one spirit. You read all that, and yet you gonna go for this my fourth wife. See, she over there, she boiled the eggs. See baby over there mopping the floor. See that one there, that's my freaky one. See, I go see her. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We have an altar whereof they have no right to eat which serve the tabernacle. For the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought in the sanctuary by the high priest for sin are burnt without the camp. Wherefore Yahushua also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate. Let us go forth therefore unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach. Now you sit back and say bearing his reproach. Remember, the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me. You know what I'm talking about? Remember he say 7 women to come to one man, and they say take away our reproach, take away our dishonor, take away death from us, take away sin from us. Well, the only way that was going to happen because of Mashiach decided to become a servant, to make that burden easy and that yoke light. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what you see Ruth doing. I'm going to go outside and follow you. We'll touch on a little bit more later because they ended up going to Bethlehem. And y'all know what the name of Bethlehem means, right? That's the house of bread. And y'all will continue on to deal with that at another time. But what we just turn around and come to this right here about going outside the camp to suffer his reproach, just like Mashiach went outside the camp to suffer that reproach, and we were talking about all this stuff about he humbled himself and he died, and all these people who showed humility and the Most High exalted them, got to do the same thing. Matter of fact, Luke 6 and 22 before we depart. This is the last one right here.
You said that two verses.
No, I didn't. I didn't say nothing was allowed.
I don't remember that. We start right here, Ruth 7, 17, whatever that was.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the chapter of Ruth.
Sure it was.
Meaning I wasn't going to go all the way to 25 like I did on Wednesday.
You missed a lot.
They still catching it. They going to get it all.
I've been through Ruth, so you missed it. Actually, I got it. All of it. You missed it. They got it later.
Blessed are ye when men shall hate you and when they shall separate you from their company and shall reproach you and cast your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in Alahym. For in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. Praise ye Yah for Yahushua HaMashiach in the word. Y'all understood all this stuff this afternoon? Keisha, put your shirt down. Thank y'all for the word. You know, praise y'all for the word.